Hello everybody, Andy from Audio Keller here. Today I have another ampdyno video for you and an additional sound quality test between two amplifiers. The first amplifier is a Rockford Fosgate Punch 40 and the second is the MTX Thunder 240. I was very curious about the dyno results because both amps were rated 20 watts per channel into a 4 ohm load at 0.05% THD. But we also know the Punch 40 X2, it has also the same ratings, but at 4 ohms it's not 0.05% THD, it's 0.08% THD. Let's check out what both amplifiers put out on the ampdyno. You can see the amplifier is idling at 0.4 amps. The first test is mono 8 ohms. That means we have an output value that has to be divided by 2 to get the output power 4 ohms per channel, both channels driven. Amplifier is bridged to an 8 ohm load, and now I start to give the signal into the amplifier. So I got 44 volts, and with 44 volts bridged mono 8 ohms, I got a continuous output power of 120 watts, 13.5 amps. That means we have an efficiency of around 65%. 60 watts of continuous output power into a 4 ohm load, both channels driven. Now I start the test with 4 ohm mono load. In this case we have a maximum voltage of 39.2 volts. I have 192 watts of continuous output power into a 4 ohm load bridged mono. Not bad. Now I check how many amps the amplifier is pulling out of my power supply at full power, mono 4 ohms. And then we have 23.7 amps. I have an efficiency of 59%. Now I try to squeeze out a little bit of dynamic power, mono 2 ohms. 20 cycles, same level. Check with the cursor. I will not take the upper distortion waves. I go to this point, that's okay. And then we have 32 volts. And with 32 volts we have an output power 256 watts into a 2 ohm load mono. That means around 128 watts of dynamic power into a 1 ohm load per channel, both channels driven. And now the Punch 40 is connected to the dummy load. I have 8 ohms mono and the first test is continuous output power 1 kHz. Let's zoom to the scope and check out what this amplifier is able to put out. Oops, way too much, dude. So that's okay. So I have 40 volts. With 40 volts I have an output power of exactly 100 watts. That means 50 watts per channel into a 4 ohm load of continuous output power. And now let's check out what the amplifier is pulling out of my power supply. The amplifier is pulling 11 amps. With 11 amps I have an efficiency of around 66.6%. And now I'm testing 4 ohms mono, continuous output power. I apply the signal. Oops, clipping. That looks okay. That's around 155 watts, mono 4 ohms, continuous power. And let's check out what the amp meter is saying at continuous output power, mono 4 ohms. The amplifier is pulling 19 amps. The amplifier is pulling 18.9 amps. Okay, 19 amps. We take 19 amps. There we have an efficiency of 59%. Now I'm hunting for some dynamic power, also mono 2 ohms. 20 cycles, 1 kilohertz. I have a shot here and we have 20 clean cycles, all the same level. Some distortion, so I catch again. And this peak voltage displayed here on the bottom is wrong because I have a little bit of high frequency distortion. So I go a little bit lower. So you can see we have a peak voltage of 32 volts. That means the Punch 40 has exactly the same output power like the MTX Thunder 240.